Hello, Minnesota gardeners. I'm Dr. Brandon Miller with the University of Minnesota Extension. I'm here at the Horticulture Research Center where we just finished planting over 450 different peonies donated by Laverne Dunsmore. Thank you, Laverne, for your generous gift.
Peonies can be purchased as containerized plants or bare root. Bare root peony plants transplanted in fall tend to establish better than containerized plants installed in spring or summer. Here at the Research Center, we have planted bare root herbaceous and woody tree peonies. In this video, we will discuss the different types of peonies and best planting practices for bare root peonies in your garden. Peonies are a favorite of gardeners. They're exotic, fragrant, and long-lived, sometimes living to be more than 100 years old. Peonies are an extensive plant group with thousands of cultivars and types. Here are several common types of peonies, many of which grow well in Minnesota landscapes. Herbaceous hybrid peonies are a diverse group with various forms and flowers. Chinese peonies, Peony lactiflora, are herbaceous peonies. They are easy to grow in Minnesota and known to be fragrant. Tree peonies include multiple species and groups of complex hybrids, like Peonia safruticosa and hybrids involving Peonia rockii parentage. These plants have a woody stem and are best suited for Minnesota gardens and our cold winters. Ito peonies are hardy hybrids that result from crossing a tree peony with an herbaceous species. Most of the time, they grow as herbaceous plants and have foliage and flowers that look a lot like a tree peony. Consult your supplier about which Ito peony will grow in your cold hardiness zone and if it will need winter protection. Species peonies are the wild relatives of our peony hybrids and other cultivated varieties. Most grow in the wild in their native Asia. They're challenging to grow here in Minnesota and not recommended for beginning gardeners. Peonies in Minnesota should be planted and divided in August through September, the time of year that new divisions grow new roots and become established. Planting at other times of the growing season can stress the plant, and it may take longer for it to bloom. Choose a location for your peony with at least 6 hours of sunlight and away from trees and shrubs that may compete with your plant for nutrients and water. Your soil should be loamy and well drained. Peonies planted in wet, heavy soil can develop root rot, ultimately killing the plant. A soil test is always a good idea, especially if you are establishing a new planting. Visit the University of Minnesota Soil Testing Laboratory website for more information about conducting a soil test. Space your peonies based on their mature size. This will provide good airflow, plenty of sunlight, and will help reduce leaf spot diseases. Consult the plant tag or plant information to determine the mature size of your peony. Herbaceous bare root peonies have a crown and modified stems called eyes that produce new shoots in the spring. The crown of the herbaceous peony plant should sit about 2 inches below the soil surface, with the eyes pointing upward for the best bloom. If planted too shallow, the crown is likely to be killed by cold winter temperatures and hot, dry summer weather. Planting peonies too deeply can reduce the vigor of the plant and may lead to root or crown diseases. Tree-type bare root peonies consist of a stem cutting, or scion, from a tree peony that has typically been grafted onto a fleshy herbaceous root. The fleshy herbaceous root is sometimes referred to as the nurse root because it sustains the plant until the scion develops its own roots. When planting tree-type bare root peonies, the graft union, or the point where the scion attaches to the nurse root, should be planted 4 to 6 inches below the soil surface. By planting at this depth, The graft is protected from cold winter temperatures, and the scion can grow new roots that will support the plant as it develops. Place tree-type bare root peonies in the planting hole with the scion facing upward. When placed at the proper depth, the scion tip often sits above the soil surface. Dig your hole to the proper depth in well-drained, loamy soil. Position the peony plant in the hole so that the eyes or scion face upward. Then fill the hole with soil. Water to hydrate the plant and settle the soil around the roots. While the plant is small, it's a good time to insert support around it. In the spring, as it grows, the peony cage will help keep the plant and its blossoms upright. Last but not least, label your plants so you know the cultivar next year.
And that's about it. Peonies are great landscape plants that are long-lived and offer Minnesota gardeners lots of great flowers and beauty during the growing season. For more information about Minnesota yards and gardens, visit our Extension website at extension.umn.edu. Happy gardening.